Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for January for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but then please stay with me because I will dive deep and give you in forensic detail all the dates and key influences to look out for. Now on the screen now you can see your chart wheel for the start of the year. Now there's a lot of planets in house 2, the sign of Capricorn, which is good because Capricornian energy is earthy and house 2 is represented by the energies of Taurus. So it's very much about staying grounded, being realistic in our approach. Also the ruler of Taurus, Venus, is in this sector too. So I think money and foundations and your personal values are going to be big things you're working on this month. But equally, if you look in house 1, you have the moon and Mars and the midpoint between the moon and the sun all in your sign. So your individuality is going to be very important to your sense of satisfaction this month. If you're going through the processes working hard for someone else, I think it will be less uplifting for you. I think if you're investing your time and energy, flair and skills on something which really interests you and stimulates you, there's every chance you're going to roar into this new year. Now there is, of course, a new moon on the 2nd, and that new moon links to Uranus, and in a very positive way. This suggests that innovation is going to be important. You can be one of the most open-minded members of the Zodiac, so your ability to draw in new pieces of information, to apply fresh techniques, be very open-minded to cutting-edge approaches is going to stand you in excellent stead. Now, of course, Saturn does continue in the 3rd house, and it is squaring with Uranus like it did for much of last year. So it is important that you pace yourself, otherwise stress can creep up. Now Mercury moves to join with Saturn on the 2nd into the sign of Aquarius. You're going to be using your mind a lot this month and your dexterity, but it does go retrograde from the 14th. So anything around contracts, phone calls, text messages, emails, technology, all those things need extra attention, but don't see this as a time when they're all going to go wrong. Some may need to be upgraded, changed, replaced, but also it's an opportunity to thrive with those changes. So Mercury retrograde isn't just about those inevitable glitches that we all know can come along. Now the sun thrusts its way into the sign of Aquarius on the 20th, but only after we have an awesome full moon on the 17th, and that can see you thinking very much about resources through to the end of the month. With Venus going direct on the 29th, but forging a nice link to Uranus itself in the last couple of weeks, that innovative approach could spring some big but very pleasant surprises as far as your financial situation is concerned. Now please stay with me for the full inside track, but if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you'd like to get your year 22 personal forecast and character analysis based on your unique birth data, please see the link below. You can get 30% off. If you order in December, get the rest of 21 free. If you order later in January, don't worry, I will supply you a full 12-month forecast from that date. So Sagittarius, as you make your way into January, the first thing to tell you is that your personal planet Jupiter has relocated into the sign of Pisces. It occurred just in the last 3 days of December, but this transit through your 4th house points towards changes around your home, emotion or family situation in 2022. But of course, Jupiter also from the 10th of May goes into the sign of Aries before reversing later in the year back into Pisces. So expect a lot of joy potentially around home, family or your own creativity throughout this year. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, so that's really exciting. Now also in the sign of Pisces you have Neptune. Neptune has been in your 4th house since 2012. Neptune's a tricky customer. It can be very draining, very confusing, very baffling, sometimes even deceiving. But it forges a gorgeous link with Venus at the start of this month for 12 days. Now, Venus, in your sector of everyday finance and self-worth, is in retrograde through to the 29th of this month. But this combination, it makes me think that something is shaping up in terms of the picture in your mind of the type of life you'd really like to have, and creating greater physical security, but in a way which gives you the emotional warmth and peacefulness that really can see you at your best. That's going to be important too. Now, as I said before, the collection of energy in the sign of Capricorn, very much to do with resources, self-worth and money. And you do have the Sun in that sparkling alliance with Uranus, and it does encapsulate the new moon of the 2nd. So that innovation, that openness to new ideas, so important for you this month. But the square between Saturn and Uranus can be limiting, and it just suggests there are only so many hours in the day, only so many minutes in that hour, and you do need to pace yourself a little bit. Part of your nature is to be very galvanizing in your approach. You buccaneer into situations and take on challenges with gusto. And because you do have the moon and Mars so close together in your sign at the turn of the year, your determination to be individualistic and push yourself is going to be strong. But push, but pace. So that means planning well, setting yourself realistic targets, not trying to spread yourself too thin. So the more you do, just make efforts towards the things that are most vital, the more traction you will achieve. Now, Mercury on the 2nd does go into the sign of Aquarius, but it was in shadow towards the end of last year and is on the 1st. So when it comes to those finances, if people owe you money, or you're wanting to make the most of the resources you've got, the more research you do and drill down beneath the detail, the more value you can extract. Whether it's buying things online and applying a coupon, or saving small amounts of money in a very studious way, or economizing on the grocery bill, whatever it is, Mercury in shadow at the start of the year will help you throughout 22 in this regard. But there is a lot of potential for growth. But of course, Mars being in your own sign does give you a lot of physicality and a lot of determination to be individualistic. Now, it is going to be moving on the 24th into your 2nd house. If you don't quite see the financial returns that you would really feel that you deserve right at the start of the month, be as patient as possible, because keep working through the processes, being thorough, being diligent, but energized, because from the 24th you will start to feel that you're making progress. Now, that movement of Mercury into the sign of Aquarius is very good, because Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. It also is the rule of the 2nd decan of Aquarius. So your ideas can sparkle, but Saturn's just saying, whatever you say, mean it and express it with purpose. Now, by the 14th, Mercury goes fully into retrograde, coming out of the shadow. So here, when it comes to interacting with siblings or neighbours or around documents and paperwork, extra precision and care is needed. But this also may be an area that you can revise or refresh or reprise your efforts or equipment. So you could hit the January sales and be looking out for some new technology from the middle of the month, which will help to speed up your processes and make you that much more efficient. The 17th, however, does see a powerful full moon in the sign of Cancer, which for you is house 8. House 8 is where we're very closely invested in somebody else, where we're intimate. On the other side of the heavens, the Sun has moved alongside Pluto. Transformation around your values is possible, but also transformation of who you're closely involved with. And it's important to get a good pivot in the middle between your needs and the balance of someone else that is very important to you. By the 20th, however, the Sun bursts its way into Aquarius, picking up with Mercury and also, of course, Saturn. You're going to find that life speeds up even more from this point, which is exciting. Mars moving on the 24th can give you those returns, and in the last 2 weeks of this month, Venus in Capricorn, which has been retrograde all month, is forging a gorgeous link to Uranus. And again, your openness and innovation are great pointers of where you're going to be successful. So it's not necessarily following the well-trodden path that you're going to achieve your goals, not just in January, Sagittarius, but throughout 2022. It is by following your own instincts. But it will be important all year to make sure you get a good balance between the physical side of life, where you're getting stuck in and being rugged, and the more sensitive emotional side of your needs. So if throughout all this busyness and hustle and bustle of this first month of the year, you take a few moments to just take a breath and to just think of where you are in the whole process, that can be a real smart thing to do. Wishing you all the best for January and the year ahead. Good luck and goodbye for now.